Looks worked out.
3,192 at 5.
Okay, that makes more sense.
But we're getting about 10 knots, 10 or 12 knots on the nose, right? At least.
14.
Yes, Dale's point was one of the modifications I made to the simulator scenario is I told it to get real-time weather, so that the simulation weather should be similar to what you're getting off Foreflight.
So you go to airports and go Norman Wells and it'll tell you.
Yeah.
So if you're doing a training flight as IFR, you can't go on the simulator.
We can't go.
Well, you're not going to be able to see anything, right? How well does the simulator simulate IFR?
Oh, well, I don't know, but we fly VFR, so.
He's saying if
But
the
if
weather
it's
is down on the
IFR
day.
Oh, yes, I see what you're getting at. Right.
You know,
I've never seen well, that's not true. The Comox scenarios and 35 knot wind. But yes, you're right. Visibility can be poor at times.
Can we turn that weather off?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, there's one line that says enable or disable real-time weather.
Yeah, but
So,
I think it was simply if the weather was crap outside, you were trying to be training inside your hoops if you've got the real weather on the system.
And it's not usually that bad, but it does restrict visibility if you've got cloud and rain. Yeah, so it would have an effect, right? But you could do it in a different maybe area. And what my goal is to have three scenarios set up here. I've got the Norman Wells one all figured out, and so just while we're transiting down to the search area here, I'll show you what I've got. I'll show you what I set up in the navigator examples that we're working with here. So, my navigator example, Norman Wells, the navigator package before the flight. This is a PDF, and it's the package that Dale printed and you've got in front of you. Okay, that's what that one is. The search coordinator package before the flight, the briefing, and our crew, sign in, whatever you want to do there. And there is a Form 000 is our search coordinator spreadsheet, and Form 106 is our navigator spreadsheet. So this is what it looks like before the flight. And I mentioned the other day, one of the things I recommend is that you remove. So, do you guys have this search pattern in your Foreflight yet?
No.
In your Foreflight?
Oh, no, it's not there yet.
Well, I just loaded it up in Aussie. Come on, you guys.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Well, yesterday it came up.
Yeah, it
Well,
automatically
you
came
got
up.
it in your history and you can pull it back.
Well, it came up automatically the other day.
No, that's because the search pattern. So if you have Foreflight and you're all connected to the same Wi-Fi, then in Foreflight you can do a thing called cockpit sharing, if you've got that enabled. Who's Dwayne?
That's me.
Keywords.
Look at your Foreflight.
Yeah. Focus zero.
Yeah. So I just shared it with Dwayne. And Dwayne can share it with somebody else. Sarah. There you go. Dennis. Fred.
New route.
LS. Gary's.
Bingo.
Ranger.
Okay, I got it.
Warren. Dale. You already had it.
I have it.
Dennis. Another Dennis.
Yeah, I've got two iPads in here.
Did anybody not get it?
Rick.
Rick?
Yeah.
Rick.
All right. Yeah, Yeah, okay.
Maybe it's that one.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
I just got it.
So now you guys have the search pattern.
Okay, we're on task.
We're on task?
Oh, yeah.
Spotters are on.
And you've been on for a couple minutes.
Okay.
Wake up, spotters.
So if you were doing this as a actual scenario, you could pause the CVT periodically, right, and talk about stuff, get things going, start the CVT up, resume it, right? I didn't do that because there's a long transit to the search area, right? We used it all. But there's lots of opportunities here to talk to navigators, and even to have a bunch of navigators sitting around saying, well, how do you do this? What makes more sense? How do you do it? Oh, that's different than how I do it. I don't actually like how you do it. I don't think you should be doing it that way. You should be doing it this way. You can do that. Yep.
So, Dave, did you create this pattern you shared? You created that in Foreflight, though?
No, okay, so
Yeah.
let me just turn the volume off on the simulator here so you don't have to listen to that. It's droning on.
In the CVT.
Okay, so what you want to know is how I created this pattern in the first place in Foreflight.
Bingo.
Right, okay. So you guys saw I already had it in Foreflight and I shared it with you. How did we get it into Foreflight in the first place? Okay. The way I did that is on my Navigator Form 106. The pattern was actually created initially with Search HQ. Okay, but the gist of it is in Aussie we have a root file and a waypoint file, which is in the folder. Okay, what I did. Should I grab one?
Dave, is Aussie already in the CVT?
Aussie is loaded on the CVT, yeah.
Yeah, on all of them?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it's a licensed copy of Aussie.
Okay.
So in my spreadsheet, which is this spreadsheet, I added a tab called Aussie to Foreflight. Okay, and what you do is you take a Aussie root file and you paste it in there, and the spreadsheet has a formula that reformats it here, like that. And that is what a search pattern looks like in the Foreflight language. There we go, thank you. And so what you do with that is I could take this, copy it, and then I could email it to whoever needed it, or myself.
So what's the file format?
It's not a file, it's just it's a data structure, it's just what it looks like. But what happens is, you get the highlighted stuff there, I email it to myself, I open the message in the iPad, and I copy it and I paste it into the search window. Okay, because that is what search window stuff looks
All
like.
right. So you don't open in Foreflight, you just actually
Right.
copy and paste.
Now, Ariel, how do I say his name? He's sitting over here.
Arrow.
Errol.
Well done.
Errol? Okay. Errol just wrote, yesterday, or today actually, he wrote a web page that does the same thing. Which is just bizarre. Anyhow.
Errol's one of our computer guys.
Yeah.
He was here on Friday. We had this.
Yeah, we did this on Friday. So,
That's why we meet together like this. So that-
yeah.
And as a matter of fact, this is a good time to say we really need to share the things that everybody's doing. Like every time we come to a meeting, somebody will say something new or different. We all go, "Oh, hey, that's
Yeah.
great, right?"
Okay, so
We need to share that stuff.
Oh, it's attached. All right. Okay. So he sent me a web page, and it's mostly white. You can't really see anything, but suffice it to say, there's a HTML code, which you could stick on your pad in some folder or some sort. I use Dropbox and I tried it and it works if I load it up from Dropbox. And what I do is I paste in here, I paste the root file, the Aussie root file goes in up here. I hit the button here. There's a button here somewhere. Oh yeah, right up here. You can barely see it. It says load. Oh, that says load sample data. That's not the one I want. Somewhere in here, you stuff it in there. It probably comes up after you put text in. Oh, it's not going to work. I don't have it loaded properly, but anyhow, the Aussie root file goes up here. The Foreflight. Oh, this will actually open it in Foreflight for you.
Oh,
Okay.
that's sick.
So all you have to do is get the Aussie root file emailed to you, and then you paste it up here. Cut, paste, it's pretty easy to do. And then hit the button, and it loads in Foreflight just like it did when we did cockpit sharing. Yes, right? So
As long as somebody does it for me
today was now worthwhile. We can all go home happy. Well, good news, there's more.
So we can get a copy of that file somewhere.
Errol.
We'll get the stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he did that either. I just heard
No,
it
this is
myself.
news.